Welcome to Richard Lloyd USA YouTube channel. I'm Richard Lloyd. My last video I showed you how to create a dedicated VPN router using a Netgear R7000. This is a similar one here. This is an R6700, but I'm using an R7000. Looks exactly the same. I got this one for $6.99 again at my local thrift store. But what you need is something that will take the third-party firmware, the DD-WRT firmware, with OpenVPN on it, and the R6700, the R7000, R7000P, R8500, all do it, as well as a TP-Link Archer C9, perfect router for this as well. See links in the video description for this stuff. Do me a favor and use those. But these are available used on eBay, and I'll put links for that stuff in the video description. What you're going to need is a VPN provider. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to use a free VPN provider to do this, okay? So it won't cost you anything for a VPN account, but you will need a dedicated router like a R7000 or similar. Okay, so this video is generated by a viewer comment, and her name is Gina, and thank you, Gina. Gina at Janita12. She commented that on my last video where I created a dedicated VPN router, and she asked, is there a way of doing this with a free provider? Now, I was hesitant at first, as you can see here in these comments, because in the past, I've looked for free VPN providers, and they were shoddy at best and lackluster, and sort of defeated the purpose. If you couldn't trust them to, keep you anonymous and keep your data safe, what's the point of having a VPN, right? So that's the whole point for me is safety and data security, privacy, so on and so forth, right? And because she asked, I went and looked again, and I found a really good one. And I'll put links for that up here for you in a minute, because you're going to need to get a VPN account with them to do this. And I'll show you how to set it up with them. So Gina, thanks again. Everybody else, comments in the video in the video comments section under the video. I read them all the time. And when people ask me pertinent questions like Gina did about this kind of stuff, if I see it as a good video to make, here I am making it. So thanks again, Gina. So let's get rid of this. So again, you're going to need a router, but you're going to need to get a VPN service. Now, I've got this up here, this QR code to link to it, so that in case you want to do it with your, create an account with Proton VPN, that's who it is. With your phone, you can. And I got a little video here showing you what happens when you do it, when I did it on my phone. Here we go. So I scan that QR code and goes to Proton VPN, get free VPN. But because I'm using the Edge browser on my phone, I got all these free coupons. Now I don't know if they work or not, but it's pretty cool. So you can use your phone to create a free account. You can see up here on the address bar this number 5. If you click that again, the coupons come back up again. If you want to do the paid service, again, use my links in the video description, please, or the QR code right here. So that's what you're going to need to do to get that on your phone. Otherwise, you can just use this address right here, https://bit.ly/proton free. And that's, again, an affiliate link. So I'm just going to click on that, open up Microsoft Edge here. Get this out of the way. Yeah, if I can. Let's go down here. Right-click it. I'm going to choose the private window. There we go. I'm going to paste that address in there again. I'll put the stuff in the video description if you just want to copy it and paste it from there. And then I'm just going to hit enter. And you can see that we've come up to free VPN from Proton. Now, prior to seeing these guys and what they do, never seen anything I would trust to do it, but these guys look really well. Really good, I mean. Now, back up here, you see that site has coupons. If you click on that link, there you go. You get all those coupons. But now this only happens inside Microsoft Edge. So there must be something built into it. So next thing you're going to do, well, let's go take a look at this, what you get for free. You get the ability to connect one device. In this case, it's going to be our router. And once that router is connected to VPN, anything that connects to that router will be routed through VPN. So yeah, one device to the account, but multiple devices through the router. So that's kind of cool in that sense in doing that. So there's a big advantage there. You can have multiple devices on a limited account using this video. So that's great. You can also have an app on your phone for Proton. They make them for iOS, make them for PC phone, Android, iPhone, iPad, Windows, Mac, Linux, Chromebook, everything basically. And you can use this account on there as well, on one of those devices. Again, remember, limited to one device at a time. So if you want more than that, you pay. And again, use the links I provided. I may keep the QR code up here on the video for a bit. And if you need extra stuff, like, even with the free service, just to go describe this, you still get the ability to connect to 3 geographic different zones. So you can connect in the Netherlands, you can connect in the US, and you can connect in Japan. Now, this company is based in Switzerland. It's a Swiss company, and the advanced censorship features include no log policy, so they don't log anything you do while you're connected to their router or their VPN service. So in other words, somebody asks for, hey, what was Joe doing on your service on this day? They'll go, I don't know. I don't have any logs of it. So that's typical VPN service, censorship features. And even though you've got 3 countries, only Netherlands, US, and Japan, you have 63 different servers in those countries to pick from. So I'll show you that as well in this video. If you look down further here, it shows you what you can get. 1,900 servers in 65 countries. And connect up to 10 devices simultaneously, and advanced features, which is, great. But with the free VPN, once again, just to reiterate what's going on here, this is what they want, what they're, giving you for free. No data or speed limits. Isn't that amazing? For free. No advertisements. Does not log your online activity, so they don't track you. And it's protected by Swiss privacy laws. So, all this for free. Pretty cool, right? And, I was thinking about it. You could actually create 2 accounts, and then you'd have 2 devices for free, right? So that's an option, I guess. And here's, talking about the rest of it. It's been reviewed highly by PC Mag, bestvpn.com, and also Forbes. So you can read on about that. But here what we need to do is, after getting here, is just go to Get Proton VPN. And they'll go to this page, and here you're going to create your account. So use a legitimate email you got access to, and create a password, repeat the password, and create an account. Pretty straightforward, okay? So do that, and I'm going to log in with my account. Don't want to do that while recording, and I'll take you on from there on how to configure the R7000 to connect to this free VPN. And again, use the stuff in the video description or the QR code on the screen with your phone, okay? So do that, and I'll come right back, and we'll continue on with this procedure. All right, I'm assuming you've logged in. When you log into Proton VPN, you'll land on the dashboard. That's where I am. But where we need to go is over here to downloads, okay? So click on that on the sidebar. And here you have the downloads for VPN clients like Android, iOS, Windows, so on and so forth. We don't need any of these, but if you do need them, there they are. They're in the downloads. And what we want to do is go down here to select platform. So we're going to click on the radio button for router, and then we're going to click on view guide. All right. And we're going to follow the guide to DD-WRT router. There are many other guides here. But the one we want, so click on that link, scroll down to DD-WRT router, click here. Now, as I said, I'm using the latest version of the DD-WRT router's firmware. I believe it's 51 or 52133 right at this point, that firmware version, but currently the most recent version, and it works just fine. So here's the instructions. I'm going to scroll through right here, and it gives you the option here to buy one with the OpenVPN config files already on it. Don't need to, just follow these directions and you'll get it working for yourself as well. So basic router settings, we're going to go to the router. So one more tab here. And yeah, there we go. Okay, so 192, in my case, 168.1.1, and I just reset the router to the default factory settings. I'm assuming you know how to do that either with a toothpick on the reset button or by going to administration and choosing that. So I'm just going to put basic stuff in here, the username and password, and then we're going to move on. And you always want to do this. You want to go into this kind of a configuration with a factory reset router, because all the settings are gone and you start fresh, and then there's nothing lingering in the memory or somewhere that is going to mess you up. Always, always, always reset it before you do this. So there we go. We're going to change the credentials, log in. We're going to go over here to setup, and of course it's going to ask me to log into it. So I'm going to do that. There we go. Oop, no, that's an old password. Let's try the new one. There we go, sign in. And we're in to the basic setup page where we have to set this up. So we're gonna go through this setup. First thing to do here is change this setting, shortcut forwarding engine, from SFE to CTF, primarily because it adds about a third more networking speed to your router. So choose CTF and FA in the flow acceleration, leave the rest alone here. And so here we're just going to hit save, but don't click apply, because if you do, it'll reboot. And so do that later when you're ready to. Other thing to check here is IPv6. By default, I believe it's turned off on every DD-WRT firmware, but just check, make sure it's disabled, and it is, so no need to do anything there. Scroll down here to DHCP server, and here we're going to put a number in right here for a static DNS. This needs to be done. So we'll go over here to the basic router settings. It tells you how to do that. You'll see a number here, 10.8.8.1. That's for the paid service. Here it says, note, if you're using a free user, using a free service to configure your router, you will have to use 10.8.0.1. So since we're using free, that's the number we're going to use. We're going to put that in here. 10.8. 0 is already right, and .1. I'm going to hit save. Now the next thing we need to do, scroll to the bottom. Again, these two settings here, these two check marks by default are there. Just make sure that's all that's checked off. Here we're going to change you're going to change your time zone to where you are. I'm in the United States, so Central time zone. So set it to whatever time zone you're in. Very important. So hit save on that. And that's it for the basic setting. And I will put a template for you guys here. Let's see if I have a picture of it here. Nope, not there. I should have one. Desktop, yes. Here we go. I'll put a template like this on the video in about a 15-second segment after, well, in about 2 seconds. And you guys can follow that, pause the video, and make sure that you set this up using these numbers exactly as I show here. All right, hopefully you've got that all filled out correctly. Next place we're going to go is over here to Services tab. So click on that. And again, I'll do another one of these slides in a second for this as well. So Services, then we're going to go to VPN. Okay, scroll down till you find Open VPN Client, and we're going to click Enable. And here we're going to go back to the page because we need the server IP or name to go in here. I always use the IP address because it's just better, in my opinion. Other people may have a different opinion, but we're going to go get that. So we're going to go back here to how to set up Proton on a dedicated router. So, and obviously they're fine with you using this on a server with a free account because they put the instructions here, so that's great. So we've got this part set up, and hopefully yours looks like, well, similar to this. IPv6 is done, and at this point we're going to go to showing us where we need to go to here, but here is the template here where it shows you how to do this setup. So here what we need to do is get the server IP name, and the way you do that is by going back to your account. So hopefully you still got it open here. We were in downloads, so stay on that tab. I got to be careful here because I got sensitive information, so I got to be careful on what I click and what I don't. I don't need my account being on video. It's just a pain. So you've got 3 countries: Japan, the Netherlands, and you see here this little circle with information. That shows you the server load on all these servers. So you really, if you want to connect, and you can change to any server you want anytime you want just by changing the IP address on this configuration. All the rest stays the same, so that's cool. So you see that these are pretty low because Netherlands right now is probably midnight or later, so nobody's using it over there. Here in the US they're being used pretty heavy, but what you want is the closest server to you for the most speed. Or again, if you want to be surfing like you're in the Netherlands, then okay, switch it over to there. If you want to look like you're in Japan, switch it over to Japan. So that's pretty cool, especially for those people who like Japanese anime. So you can get that stuff going on. Here's one in the US that says 388 USA free 388.0.1.2. It's got a 69% load on there. It's not that bad, so I'm going to choose that one. And so we're going to go over here and click on download and save as. I'll choose that, save as, and I'm going to put it on my desktop. There we are, in my, hopefully I can see it, Proton VPN dedicated. I already got one in here, but I'm going to put another one in here. There we go, and it says 12. So then we're just going to click on open file, and it'll open up in Notepad, and you'll get all this information. And what you want to do is scroll down here till you see the IP numbers on remote. They're all the same, so it doesn't matter which one you pick. Just pick one, highlight it all, hit copy, minimize this out of the way, go back to your router, right click here and paste, or Control V with your keyboard if you wish, and then move on to the next thing. Tunnel is okay. UDP4 is incorrect, and you can see that again here. UDP is what you want, so we're going to change that. Again, back to this, and I already know it off by heart. That's how many times I've done it in preparation for this video. AES 256 CBC on the encryption cipher. There we go. Hash algorithm is SHA512. Again, confirm over here. And again, I'll put a screenshot of all the settings, at the end of my configuration here. And first data cipher will be, this is outside of what they do. They don't show this, so this is kind of like my custom setting. Put that in there. It works. It works well. So you can go with not putting it in there, but I don't see why you would. So the next two, second data cipher, third data cipher, are not set. We'll go back over here, and you can see that they don't really show that anywhere here, right? But I did. So user pass authentication, that's got to be checked off because you got to use the username and password. So here we're going to go here, and then you're going to put your username, and I'll show you where to get that. I can't go to that page on my browser because it'll show you my email address and all my account features. So I took a screenshot without that information in it, and I'll put it over here. Hopefully you guys can see it. So when you go to the account page, you're going to see all this information, but what matters is right here, OpenVPN IKE V2 username. So in here there'll be some crazy name number combination here. Just copy it paste it all over here, and I'll do this off screen or off video. Paste it over here as your username. Go back over here, and oops, yeah, I forgot it's a picture. Let's go here. Go back to your account tab, and then copy, and these buttons here that you see here, this button and this button, copy it. Copy your password, and you can reveal it here, and you know, copy it, drop it in over on your router again, right here. Okay, so I'm going to assume you've done that, or you will do that. Here, I choose the advanced options. That is, again, not on this setting. It's not here. They say enable, but yeah, and it's sort of there, but it's not looking the same as what I have on my advanced DD-WRT configuration. So follow what I say here. So TLS Cipher, they have none. LSO compression, no. Though this does not have LSO, it just has compression. I'm just going to say no. There we go. So none and no, just like they have, right? NAT and firewall protection, I don't believe that's even there. Maybe. There's NAT and inbound firewall tunnel on. Okay, so yeah, that's on too. Now this one here, I'm going to call it the K switch, because I don't want to be flagged by the powers that be. But this one here, K switch, make sure you check that off. Now what that does is, if the connection between you and the server, the VPN server, goes down, normally without that switch on, what would happen is the router would just keep on allowing you to browse the internet, surf, send data, all that. And you wouldn't know you weren't on VPN anymore. You're just cruising through without a VPN tunnel to the VPN provider. You're just surfing normally at that point, but you wouldn't know. With the K switch, what happens is that if the VPN connection between you and the server, for some reason the tunnel gets broken somehow, it stops all data going through your router. It basically just pulls the plug. So if you're not connected to VPN, no data flows through your router. And I think that's a beautiful thing to have, especially for privacy and peace of mind. You know that if your router is not, you know, browsing the internet, or sorry, it's not connected to VPN, it's not going to let you browse or send or receive any data. It just cuts it off. So very, very important. Make sure you put that on there. Watchdog, I don't bother with that. The tunnel NTU setting is incorrect. This should be 1500. So we're going to change that to 1500 there. And you can see it here. If you scroll down a little further, there it is, 1500. So change it. All right. We're going to go back over here, and under this, one more setting, additional configuration. We'll get to that in a second. Yeah, well, let's just keep going in sequence. So next thing we need to do is put additional configuration information in here. So go back to over here and keep scrolling down here. You'll see in additional config box, either enter or copy, paste these commands. So we're going to copy and paste, as we don't like typing. So start at TLS client, click down on that, highlight it all the way down to the reneg-sec equals 0. You don't need this hashtag log part down here, okay? That's irrelevant. We don't need it. So right click that, choose copy, back over here, drop it in additional configuration, and hit paste. There we go. And then we're going to put in the CA certificate here, and we're going to grab that from the download file that we took from the downloads directory. Now, so we still have it open here in Notepad. Go back to your download, your Notepad, where you got the IP address. Scroll down till you see CA certificates. Well, what we're going to need to do is copy from here all the way down to the bottom down here. Okay, so just highlight it, start highlighting here at begin certificate, and at the end of end certificate, stop. So this is all you need. No more, no less. Okay, exactly that. So right click that, hit copy, back to the browser, and in here, CA certificate, we're going to drop it in. All right. Now I stepped one step ahead, because here you see this TLS static key choice. We need to enable that. And the way you do that is to go here to TLS auth. Okay, so hit the radio button on TLS auth right there, and you can see it probably here in the direct. It's kind of all over the place here, but you can see that this is why I did this first, because it says to do the CA thing first. It doesn't really matter which order you do it, but then again you see this copy TLS auth key field in the respective field. That's what we're doing next, but it doesn't really show you to press that button to make that happen. So in order to put the TLS in, you got to click on the radio button for TLS auth, then go back to your notepad. There we go, over here, and scroll down a little further, and you'll see TLS auth here. Again, we're going to start at begin of OpenVPN static key, begin, and end at the end right there of OpenVPN static key, and all the dashes include everything I show here on the screen. Right click it, copy it, move on back over here, and in TLS key just paste it there. There we go. And that is the entire configuration for this page in order to get this to work. So I'm not going to hit save or apply yet, because I haven't put my username and my password in. I'm assuming you did. Hit save and then hit apply, and I'm going to pause here and put a stack of information so that you can pause the video and look at the configuration. It will be this page right here, only a little bigger on the video. Okay, so I'm going to pause, put this up for 15 seconds, and then we'll come back and test this out. All right, my mistake. I forgot to tell you to not just to reboot. Well, the router will automatically reboot when you set all those settings, but you should also reboot your computer and start fresh again before you do any testing on VPN, because your browser caches all sorts of stuff. Even the private browsers do. Okay, so we're going to start this again. So right click. I'm going to right click my Edge browser in a new private window. It doesn't matter which one you use, really. I'll click on that, and 192.168.1.1. I'll log into the router just for kicks. Min, and there we go. And again, look at the status for OpenVPN. We're connected, success. This is great. So what we're going to do is test it out. So a new tab. I'm going to go to my favorite here, ipleak.net. This is how I test to see if VPN is leaking information or not. If I see if I'm secure or not. So it says I'm United States. Yeah, I live in the United States, but that's not my IP address. My IP address is far different from that. And you know, your router will tell you on your LAN port. Mine won't, but yours will right here on your WAN port. I'm connected to another router, so regardless, but yours will tell you what your IP address is right here on WAN IP. And so IPv6 fails, which it should. Perfect. DNS address servers detected. None so far. 60 tests so far. Let's check geolocation map with Google Map. Activate. Click allow. And we end up in what looks like to me, I'm zoom out here, we end up in Kansas. The reason we end up in Kansas is because it's basically the center of the lower 48 of United States. So Google knows we're in United States, right? Well, okay, fine. That's vague enough for me. Scroll down a little further here, and you'll see accuracy radius 1,000 kilometers. So they know within 1,000 kilometers where we are, where I am. Okay, that's really good as far as I'm concerned. Let's go hit activate here, and it just puts us in the same place in Kansas, right? The center of the United States. So VPN's doing exactly what it should do. It is protecting our location, our IP address, masking our IP address, and filtering our access to the internet as it should. Now, if you want to change the location for the router, in other words, you want to make it another IP address or another server, let's say you want to go to Japan, I won't do it, but I'll show you how to do it. Come over here to Services tab, go to VPN, and here you would open up, let's see if I have one. I probably do. Let's go to Desktop. There we go. In here, I think we used, yeah, let's use this one here. This one's in the Netherlands. Here, you just go to back to your account, download a configuration for whatever server you chose. This one was in the Netherlands, it's NL free 121, and choose its IP address, right? You don't need to change anything else. Everything else works just the same. Copy it, drop it in here. So highlight it, and so save and apply. And go back over here to status, and under Open VPN, you'll see that it's authenticating. Refresh, connected success. So I'm going to close the browser just because you don't do the IP leak test twice because it caches your information, believe it or not, even as a private browser. Okay, so let's try this out. Close it down, open up another private session. And the reason I do private is because it just starts clean. So ipleak.net. Look at that. Now I'm in North Holland. IPv6 not reachable. Perfect. DNS servers non-detected. So you can see this is pretty tight. I'm really, really impressed with this service, what you get for free. And I actually installed the app on my phone as well. Works really well on the phone. So again, remember, you're limited to one device at a time. So if you're connected with the router, you may not be able to connect with the phone on the same account. So maybe create another account or pay for the service. Or disconnect the router and connect on your phone. So here we go. So far 105 tests, nothing there. Google Map, activate, allow. Let's see where it puts us this time. Well, see, I told you. It still put us in the center of the United States. So it does, again, it's caching. If I reboot the computer, this will not show up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to reboot the computer, come back to this, see what I mean about this stuff, how browsers are so bad, just terrible. It's so hard to maintain your privacy and anonymity on the internet. It's just built to hold your data. It's crazy, right? So again, but at least it's not where I live. I live in Texas. But I'm going to shut this down, reboot it, and then we'll start the video again. Well, we'll continue the video from there. All right, rebooted. We'll do this fresh. I'm glad that happened, actually, just to show you how pervasive tracking is. Let's get that. We're going to go into the same browser, Edge, with new private window. Still connected and only connected through this whole thing through Ethernet. We'll try Wi-Fi too, but should make a difference as far as security goes. ipleak.net. Remember, now we're in Netherlands, so there's the Netherlands IP address. Again, no DNS address, 26 tests. Let's try the Google Map tracking. Shows you Google's really tracking you well, right? There we go, we're in Amsterdam, which is where I'm not, but I've got the router set to be there. And it says accuracy is within 20 kilometers. And seeing as, still in Amsterdam. There you go. In the Netherlands. So it thinks that we're in the Amsterdam and it works. So there's a good deal. Back over here, 192.168.1.1, the router. And the status should still be good, just to make sure. There we go. And under Open VPN status, we are connected. Success. Everything is cool. So there's a dedicated VPN router set up with a private free VPN provider. Again, maybe I left the QR code up here on the video. I'm not sure. But links will be in the video description below for VPN, the routers I use, the gear I use. Please use those links. It helps me out, and it helps me, bring you great content like this. I love this video. I love this service. The ability to have a dedicated VPN router at no cost to you, other than the router itself. Incredible, right? With a free service and upgradable service as well. Again, I've got other choices. I'll put cards up top, probably over here, on my previous video on how to do this with a paid for service. And just incredible. I can't believe how well it worked. I can't believe that, it's free, right? And reliable and fast, and and safe. So yeah, thank you, Proton VPN, and for giving us this for free. And again, make sure you use the links to get this service. Helps me out, even though you're not paying anything for it. Still helps me out. So do that. Appreciate it. And again, those are affiliate links, just so you know. If you do go from the free service to a paid for service on Proton VPN using those links, I get a little bit of that sale, and that helps me out, but it still doesn't cost you anything. Remember, use the let's see if I can get that to happen again. Where's my link here? Open. There it is. Let's see if we can get Edge to give us coupons on that site again, just in case you want to buy this. I think it's awesome. There we go. And it should pop up there. Yeah. Click the coupons button here, and here's the coupons right there. Isn't that awesome? All right. That's it for my video. If you like this video and it helped you out in some way, please give me a like and a thumbs up here at the bottom of the video. Again, everything in the video description there for you, and help me out as well. As well, the video comments section, as you know, Gina, thank you, did basically prompt me to make this video by basically pushing me to do so, and thank you for doing that too, because I was hesitant until I thought about it, and I said, you know what, yeah, let's do this video. So yeah, I look at the comments. I make videos from those comments all the time. I think the last 3 have been comments from the comment section, so appreciate that. I love it when you guys talk to me, give me ideas and suggestions. Helps me be creative as well. This one was beautiful. I learned a lot. Now I have free VPN on my phone and on my router, on a dedicated router. Amazing. And I've shown you how to do it as well. So really, really appreciate that, Gina. And again, everything in the comment section for what you want to say to me or whatever, I read them often, reply often as well. Yeah, and also, if you like my content and you want to see my next video automatically or be prompted, subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscribe button, usually on the bottom right. And, as part of that process, you'll get a bell icon. Click on the bell icon, and then you'll be notified every time I put up a new video, and then you can watch it at your own leisure. Once again, and like always, thank you so much for watching. Stay healthy, stay happy, and we'll see you on the next video.